Okay, folks, here's a quick review of the new 52 Darkseid figure that was produced by Mattel as a part of the DC Comics Unlimited line of products. I picked this up at Walmart for $15.99. Darkseid is, in my opinion, one of the more potent villains of the DC Universe. He rules the planet Apocalypse with an iron hand, and his Omega Beams and telekinetic abilities are both powerful weapons. He has no qualms about killing anyone, and has given many of the DC heroes and the Justice League a run for their money. Okay, so when I first got the figure out of its packaging, I liked the overall appearance. However, I was a bit disappointed to see that this figure seems to be a bit on the short side. From what I've seen of Darkseid in both comics and animated TV shows and animated DC movies, he's a very large, bulky behemoth of a villain. And when he's fought Superman, Batman, and other DC heroes in the past, he towered over them in both height and width. But in this representation, he's just barely taller than the new 52 Superman or Batman figures. So let me pause here for just a moment, and I'm going to bring in my new 52 Superman figure and let you see the height differential in this figure line. And as you can see, Darkseid is just barely taller than the new 52 Superman figure, and I was a little disappointed to discover that. Alright, so let me move Superman out of the way, and we'll continue on with the review of Darkseid. Paint apps were, for the most part, nicely done. I did find one minor chip on his left hip, but it's very hard to see it as it's very tiny. The gold stripe on the back of his uniform also had some chipping on it. The articulation joints all worked quite smoothly out of the packaging. I had no problem with moving the head, shoulders, elbows, mid-torso crunch, waist, wrists, hips, knees, or ankles. I was a bit hesitant about moving the shoulders on this figure initially, but these shoulder pads, they're made of a soft plastic that doesn't seem to hinder that part of Darkseid's articulation. He also stands pretty well on his own, but I still wish that Mattel would include figure stands for these figures in their respective packages with them. So let me pause here, zoom in, and I'll give you a closer look as to what Darkseid looks like. Okay. Darkseid didn't come with any accessories, so what I'll do now is a quick 360 of him for you and let you see what he looks like from all sides. So here he is from the front. Here he is from the left. Here he is from the rear. The right-hand side. Finally, here he is once again from the front. So overall, I think this figure, it's not too bad. Darkseid has a very menacing appearance, and he has good articulation, and paint apps were also pretty well done. The only minor gripe that I do have about this figure is that he seems to be a bit on the short side, as I've always pictured Darkseid being a mammoth behemoth of an individual. And as before, I wish that Mattel would include figure stands with these figures. But even so, I will give this figure a good bordering on great recommendation. More great than good. Even though this version of Darkseid isn't as tall as I think he should have been, it's still not a bad addition to a DC Universe new 52 figure collection. Okay, so on that note, take care and stay tuned for my next review. Have a good one.